Today I'm going to talk about Terrasite by Cattle Decapitation. The album was released on May 12th, 2023 through Metal Blade Records. This is a band that is very unique because I guess I'm going to call them an extreme metal band. They kind of defy one specific genre, but more or less they are a death grind or a death metal band. It's pretty cool. These guys talk about animal rights. They write lyrics from the point of view of all the horrible things that humans do to animals and how people just take them for granted. I'll talk about that more when I get to the backgrounds of the band, but afterwards I'm going to talk about the songs, I'll give my final thoughts, and a score at the end. This band has been around for a while now. They formed in 1996 in San Diego, California. The guitar player at the time, his name is Scott Miller. He actually just disappeared, or he ghosted the band, or something like that. He basically completely left them. And I think the original band were all vegetarians who fought for animal rights. In the current band, only 2 members are still vegetarian, but I think that's pretty cool. I think that's similar to the band like Carcass and Gojira. They are the kind of band that writes about like the environment and things like that, and I think that's pretty cool. The band released 10 albums over the years. They've been putting out albums fairly consistently. I know their first few albums were more grindcore with songs that are all under a minute. So for example, their first album, Human Jerky, it had 18 songs in the album, or was 16 minutes long. You could even call it an EP if you want. But over the years, they continued to put out albums and their sound evolved. They started to record longer songs in the 3 to 5 minute range. This new album is tied with being their highest rated album on metalstorm.net with an 8.6 ratings. That's tied with Monolith of Inhumanity from 2012. So let's talk about the overall sound of the album. I think in general this would be considered an extreme metal album with elements of old school death metal, modern death metal, and deathcore. I would say the vocals are very harsh, but you can hear different vocal styles. Some of the higher pitched goblin types of vocals are there, and you can also hear traditional death growls. And they do these weird alien type vocals that are similar to a band like Gojira. As for guitars, there are lots of guitar riffs. The album is filled with riffs. They range from old school death metal to thrash metal to traditional grindcore. Even the bass guitar can be heard with that thick distorted sound, and the drumming is very intense. There are lots of blast beats and also sections with more traditional drumming. So let's talk about the songs now. Terrasite Adaptation is the opening track. It was kind of slow at first and it took a few seconds to pick up, but I started to enjoy it around the middle of the song, where they started doing more of these chugging guitars and some technical guitar solos. I started to enjoy the song a little more, and I heard Gojira influence at one point in the song. I thought the song was pretty good. Not my favorite. I think the ones that came after this I liked a lot more. Lyrics are very interesting because I think the song reflects what is depicted on the cover of this post-apocalyptic scenario where everything is destroyed and only cockroaches survive, but eventually they evolve into these human-like creatures, or at least that's what I got from the lyrics. But it's pretty cool. They actually mention Cattle Decapitation in the lyrics, and they also mention the word Nostalgia, which is another song, and that was mentioned in the lyrics. We Eat Our Young is one of the singles. I think that's a very good song because it has everything you would expect from the band. Super fast, it's heavy, it has blast beats, it's very aggressive. The vocals are very harsh. You can understand the lyrics, and what I like about this song is that it has a really nice groove. What's best about the song is the breakdown is pretty cool, and overall it's a good song. Scourge of the Offspring, another one of the singles. It's a very good song. It shows off more of the progressive side. In the opening guitar riff, it uses some odd time signatures. The song is filled with riffs. That's what I like about it. You can hear elements of thrash metal at times. The vocals are very brutal. They use a lot of different vocal styles, and you hear that throughout most of the album. The Insignificance is a song that continues in the same style as the previous songs. What I like about this is there's one part of the song where it slows down a little bit, and that kind of gives it a nice change of pace, and it helps the song stand out a little more. The song goes through lots of changes like most of the other songs, and then the part gets very quiet. Another part of the song gets more the symphonic black metal style, and the album has a lot of variety on it. Storm Upstairs is another good song. You can hear some machine gun riffing and some thick bass guitar playing throughout the rhythms. Another strong song that continues the album. And then we get to And the World Will Go On Without You. So we're about halfway into the album. So far, everything's been good. I can't say anything is weak or anything like that. So this song, I feel the intro is very good. I like the old school death metal, even the thrash metal sound of the intro. And the song mixes sounds of modern extreme metal with old school death metal. I think this is one of the standouts of the deeper cuts in the album. Photic Doom is one of the singles. They released the music video. I think they released it today. And it's very fast paced. It's aggressive, not unlike other songs in the album. I like how the song takes a break right in the middle. They shift gears. They go for a different rhythm. And that's something this band does very well. Dead End Residence has an intro that's slower and more atmospheric. I like the transition from the last song to this one. It really stands out. The song also has some very fast and brutal parts, so it's not like they slow down for the song. It's just the intro was slower. Nostalgia is a song name, and it's pretty cool. If you want to know what that word means, it means a form of emotional or existential distress caused by environmental change. I had to look that up. Has a lot of that black metal style, tremolo picking, just very fast and heavy. Just Another Body is the final song. It's 10 minutes long. So you're kind of thinking for this type of band, it's kind of weird to have a very long song, but I think it's actually like the longest song they've ever recorded, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Now on this one, I think it's actually pretty good. It has like enough changes, so it doesn't really like feel bored, or I don't feel bored when I listen to it. So I thought it was very good, and it has all the same elements and the same sound. So it's definitely like a consistent album. Conclusion, I think it's a very good album. If you are a fan of Cattle Decapitation, you will definitely like it. If you're somebody who's not very familiar with this type of extreme music, it might take some time to get into it. I think in general, it's the type of album you need to listen to at least like 3 times to appreciate it. I think you listen to it like once on speakers and then once with headphones. And this way you can take everything in. Also a good album to listen to when you're just doing nothing, just sitting there listening to the album and paying attention to everything going on. And I think that's what you need to do for this album. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Is this your favorite Cattle Decapitation album? Where would you rank it? My score is an 8 out of 10. It could go up in the coming weeks. We'll see where it lands on my top 10 end of the month list. I'm sure it will be there. That is all. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. It helps me with the algorithm. Please comment. I respond to all comments. And check out this video right here. I'll see you in the next one.